Ekotürk'ten merhabalar. Başkonsoloslarla röportaj serimize devam ediyoruz. Son olarak Hollanda Başkonsolosluğu'yla bir röportaj gerçekleştirmiştik geçtiğimiz haftalarda. Bugün yaklaşan Kurban Bayramı'nın da vesilesiyle dünyada ikinci büyük Müslüman nüfusa sahip olan Pakistan İstanbul Başkonsolosu Bilal Pasha bizlerle olacak. Kendisiyle Türkiye-Pakistan ilişkilerini, Pakistan'ın sorunlarını, fırsatlarını, Türkiye'nin Pakistan'la olan dostluk ilişkisini ve çok daha fazlasını konuşacağız. Merhaba.
Merhaba. Thank you very much for being here, and we welcome you at our consulate.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So actually, I would like to start with your last name, Bilal Pasha, because in Turkish, Pasha refers to military rank.
Generally, yeah.
Yes. So how about your own language? What does that mean? And what's the story behind that last name?
I think this is the most asked question to me while I'm in Turkey, because of course it's mentioned in my visiting card also. So many people ask about this surname. It's basically my father. He used to write poetry. He used to write certain verses, and he used to write novels and some columns for during his college life. And during his college life, he was an avid reader of books also, of history also, and he was very much inspired by the struggles and the movement carried out by Atatürk, Mustafa Kemal Gazi Atatürk. So. And he was so much impressed by the life and the efforts, or let's say the struggle which was carried out by the great founder of Turkey. So he opted that surname, Pasha, Mustafa Kemal Gazi Atatürk Pasha, of course, as his surname. So he changed his name from Tahir Anwar Khan to Tahir Anwar Pasha. By the way, recently he has published his travelogues for Turkey also.
Wow.
It's Turkey Mein Pasha. And this also, of course, he made it a point that once he gets retired from his public life, because he used to be a civil servant in Pakistan, so he thought that the first travelogue he would write is about Turkey. And he would also explain as to why he named, his surname as Pasha. So,
do we have this in Turkish, by the way? It's published in Turkish.
We have asked our brother in Istanbul University to get it translated in Turkish. So hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months, its Turkish version would also be available.
I would love to read it.
Grateful. So he in fact changed his surname from Tahir Anwar Khan to Pasha. And when it when it came to us, when we were about to be, me and my family, we were about to be formally registered in our database registration authority. So he asked us whether you would like to continue as Bilal Khan Lodhi or not, or you would like to continue with Bilal Khan Pasha. And I readily, without having any second thought, said Bilal Khan Pasha.
Oh.
So that's how it also became a part of my surname, and I feel proud of that, by the way. And one of the reasons I got myself, posted in this beautiful station, while I was given a choice of 4 different stations. So I opted for this station, and in the choices corner, in the first choice, second choice, third choice, just mentioned Istanbul, Istanbul, and Istanbul. I would only like to go to Istanbul, otherwise I would stay in Pakistan.
Oh.
But
how long have you been here?
It's about my year and a half now.
Year and a half.
This July, it's my year and a half, exactly, yeah. So I joined in January 2018.
But before, I think you visited Istanbul.
I visited Istanbul 4 or 5 times before that. I was part of Ministry of Commerce team, which is responsible for ComSec. It's a committee on economic and commercial cooperation. But before that, my first visit to Turkey was in 2003. And that was on a transit. I was going to Amsterdam for some official assignment, and I had a 3 days transit in Turkey. So my first visit was in 2003, and then of course later my visits, I kept on visiting, but formally I got posted in 2018.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Welcome again. How is it it should be very different, of course, like living in Istanbul and as a tourist coming to Istanbul. So how does it feel?
Honestly, to me, it's like another home. This is not what I'm saying, this is what my family and my kids are saying. Be it food, be it, let's say, the culture, be it, let's say, language also. I mean, there are 4,000-5,000 words which are common in our language, in our Urdu and the Turkish language.
For example?
Okay, mohabbat, siyasat, adalat. We are women sitting, let's say, keeme, meva, sabzi. So, I mean, a lot of words which are common in both languages. So
it's easy for you to learn, I think, Turkish.
It's easy for me to learn, but I'm still a student, so don't expect anything right now. But inshallah, let's say after a year or two, I may be able to answer some of your questions in Turkish.
Inshallah. So after 1 year, I will also visit you for another interview
as a follow-up
in Turkish.
interview. Yes, yeah. So like I mentioned, it was a preferred choice for me. People are warm, friendly. By the way, this is my third foreign assignment. So the love which I have received, the warmness which I have witnessed and observed is honestly unprecedented. So, but this is what I was, this was what was in my mind before I got my assignment over here. So to me, it's like, coming from, let's say, one city of Pakistan to another city of Pakistan. So, and it's good. It's challenging also. Posting in Istanbul, especially for a Pakistani diplomat, is always a challenging assignment.
Why is that?
Why is that? Okay, because for the last so many years, we are receiving a lot of visitors from Pakistan. Since the Pakistani airline and the Turkish airline, they have code shared, so we receive a lot of westward traffic who are here mostly on transit, and of course some of them are here for official business also. So we are receiving more and more traffic from Pakistan. And in that count, of course, our interaction with our community who are based over here, and of course who are on a visit or on a transit, it's growing day by day, week by week, month by month. This is one of the reasons, and of course the relationship between the two countries. The beauty of this relationship is that it is ever evolving. It's growing. It's neither static nor it's on a status quo, let's say. But the basic thing is that the beauty is that in all fields, almost all fields, it's evolving and growing, and that's why we have witnessed a lot of interaction, not only between the officials and the business community, but the strength of this relationship is the people-to-people contact. So, by the way, we issue a lot of visas from here, which was initially was a surprise for me also. So we, let's say, on average, we issue 5,000-6,000 visas to the Turkish nationals.
Unfortunately, we still have visa. That's the best thing.
Yes, yeah.
But,
the visa is for the ordinary passports. For the diplomatic and official passport, service passport, visa is not required. We are working toward that also, towards that aspect, that how to finally obtain that goal of visa-free travel. But what we have done recently, the new government has done recently, is for the Turkish visitors who intend to visit Pakistan, we have made the process now online. So they don't need to come to the consulate or the embassy. They just have to apply online by sitting in their homes. And the second thing is we have also reduced the fees unilaterally. It's normally on the basis of reciprocity, but we have drastically reduced the visa fee also, just to encourage more and more tourists, travelers, business visitors to Pakistan. So, and we are witnessing during the last 2 months a rising trend of more and more visitors, Turkish visitors visiting Pakistan. But yes, you're right. Visa ultimately it should not be there between between the two brotherly countries. But since it's something which requires a lot of homework, and of course it requires because we are both countries, we are in a region which is unfortunately mired with many issues and problems. So for some reasons, visa is still, although visa is not difficult to obtain, both for Pakistanis in Pakistan, for Turkey, and for Turkish from the Pakistani consulate and embassy in Turkey. It's just, let's say, even we receive a visa request, we issue the visa within a day or 2 days. Maximum 3 days. So
you touched upon relations in general, but what about economic relations? I think trade volume is good, but still it's not at the desired level. Maybe visa is one of the reasons, I don't know. So how is the relations, specifically trade relations between the two countries?
To be precise, between Pakistan and Turkey, the economic relationship basically it started from 80s, from the early 80s, and the trade grew from 90s onward. Incidentally, both countries are producing up to 50% the same items. We are also good in textiles. Turkey is also very good in textiles. We are also good in leather. Turkey is also very good in leather industry. We are also very strong in agriculture. Turkey is also very strong in agriculture. We are strong in dairy and livestock. Turkey is also very strong in dairy and livestock. So
we cannot compare.
apparently this leaves a very little margin to trade, but the complexities of the present day global international trade is that no one country can produce all the items, right? So there are some items within the textile sectors in which we are good, which we have comparative advantage. There are so many sectors in which Turkey has comparative advantage. So what we are witnessing during the last 2 decades is intra-industry trade. Let me give you an example. The Turkish designers are very good. The Turkish technical human resources is very good, above par. So they are importing a lot of raw material and lot of semi-processed products from Pakistan. Then they bring it over here, add value to it, and then they re-export it to Europe or US or other destinations. And for us, let's say Turkey is very good in chemicals. We import a lot of textile chemicals from Turkey. We use it for the production of our textiles and we also export it. So that's intra-industry cooperation is there, that intra-industry trade is there. But you are right that the potential is far less. And let me give you an example. Let me rather qualify that with the statistics. Turkey in 2018, last year, in the Turkish financial year, from January to December, the imports of global imports of Turkey were $223 billion. So $2 to $3 billion were the Turkish imports. Our exports to Turkey were only $330 million. So that is, even less than 1%. Yeah. So the question needs to be asked as to why despite this excellent relationship, why we have not been able to even touch even 1 billion mark. So this leaves a lot to be answered, and this leaves a lot to be, this leaves so much space for us that we need to work hard on these, in further improving the bilateral trade. And by the way, it's the likewise. Pakistan last year, our imports were around $55 billion. So out of $55 billion, Turkish exports to Pakistan were only $460 million. So again, it's, let's say, it's not more than 3%, 3 or 4%. So it means that there is sufficient potential between the two countries. And in fact, the only reason which has come to my mind, and of course which we have been analyzing over there at our consulate and have been discussing with the businessmen of the two countries, is that we are still trading in those traditional sectors in which there is honestly nothing much left. So we need to, both countries need to focus on engineering items, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, services sector of course also, and then some value-added high-tech items. Because if you continue trade in textile is very important. It's important both for Turkey and Pakistan in so far as our workforce is concerned, because we both are basically the agriculture countries. And from agriculture, we have evolved these industries. We have come to settle and establish these industries. Both countries. Leather is, let's say, the byproduct of dairy and livestock. Textiles, of course, if you don't have cotton, how would you, produce the textiles? Yeah. So, of course, both countries we have a strong base. But the need of the hour is to, let's say, to have a cooperation and more trade in the surgical instruments, in sports goods, in, like I mentioned, pharmaceuticals. There is a lot of potential for Turkish pharmaceutical firms in Pakistan. There is a lot of potential of Pakistani surgical instruments companies in Turkey. And of course, I can go on and on. Yes, we cannot ignore textile. We have to have more trade in textile. But like I mentioned before, since we both are very good at textiles, so we have to find some innovative ways as to how to increase that intra-industry trade. Yeah. So that's how we will be. I mean, we at the consulate, we are looking at the things, but I'm sure, inshallah, that things would improve.
How is Eid back in your
Eid-
country? You have any like special traditions? I think this time you are going to celebrate it in Turkey, or you will?
I have
You will go?
celebrated my previous 3 Bayrams, Eids in Turkey.
Oh, okay.
So this would be my 4th Eid in Turkey, Bayram, and Eid in Pakistan and Eid in Turkey. Almost the same. I mean, primarily it's for the women. I mean, honestly, I mean these particularly the Shakar Bayram and Qurban Bayram, particularly for Qurban Bayram, because the women have to, cook something for us at least. But anyway, I mean, so the preparations are always very nice. I mean, these are few holy festivals, in I think the whole Muslim world, which attract lot of festivities, which attract lot of, let's say,
Meat lovers.
of course, for this, I was about to say that for this Qurban Bayram, of course, there is a competition amongst the meat lovers as to who would have more meat. But anyway, I mean, it's a time for festivities. It's time for good pleasantries. Roam around, see. Go and see your relatives, parents, kids. So it's basically. I mean, but in Pakistan, it's to us, it's more for the women who of course, we all buy new dresses. We all have during these occasions, as per Sunnah also, but the more color is added by the women. I must admit that. So Eid in Pakistan is we always celebrate that with our full enthusiasm, with full fervor, with full, let's say, full participation. And the good thing which I have observed during this previous Bayram in Turkey, Ramadan, that the holidays were extended. So people enjoyed a lot. Even I moved out after a long time, and
what did you do? And
I had a chance of driving myself from Istanbul to Izmir, and then Izmir
really?
to Antalya.
Wow,
And then, of course, but then that was, I think, the best. Those were the best 7 days which I had during my the period of stay over here, because the more you explore the inside of Turkey by road, I mean, it gives you more insight.
Definitely. Road trip
gives
is
you
the
road
best
trips
way
the best
to
way,
explore
the
a
best
country.
way. Yeah.
Definitely.
So
and what are your plans now?
We will be following the same plan again. So the area which we were not able to see previously. So we are planning for that. Maybe this time we'll go to Erzurum or Kayseri or Konya.
Mardin also. You should
Eskişehir.
visit.
Just yesterday I saw a tweet on the TRT World. It is some province in Burdur.
Salda gördüm.
So yes,
Salda
exactly.
Lake. You
So
should definitely go
it's
there.
called the Maldives of Turkey.
Yes, Maldives of
So,
Turkey, right.
but I was stunned by the picture. So
You have to
I
go
was
there.
just thinking, just pack my bags and just go there and drop myself into that beautiful
definitely.
lake. So,
You should definitely pay a visit.
so this is one thing which I have to do, and then the other thing which I'm trying, which my office is trying also, but we are not able to find any ticket for the Istanbul East Express.
Doğu Express.
East
Okay,
Express.
exactly.
Whenever we try to find tickets online, it's always say booked from.
It's very.
So, but this is one thing
I
which
also had the same challenge, but I made it.
You made it?
Thanks God.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I made it to Kars.
Wow, lovely. So this is
Yeah.
one thing which me and my family, we would love to do that. We will try this
I will
this
help
time
you
also.
figure it out. I will give you some tips
Great.
on how to do it.
Lovely. So
You're going to spend the Bayram in Turkey. I was wondering, this is your, for example, traditional clothing that you're wearing during special occasions like Bayram. What are you wearing?
in Pakistan, this is our national dress. This is called shalwar, and this is kameez, and this is the waistcoat. So this is our official dress.
Yeah.
There is a ceremonial dress also in which we wear sherwanis. Let's say next interview I will wear sherwani. It is difficult to carry, but I would like to wear that. So this is our national dress, which we wear particularly during the holy festivals and all the important, let's say, ceremonies. Normally, I only wear this when I'm abroad, let's say, only for the ceremonies, for National Day ceremony, for our National Day ceremony, or for some related event. Incidentally, in the last 3 Bayrams in Turkey, I did not wear this dress. But when I came to know that you will be coming over here, and of course, it's not about trade and commerce only, you will have a lot of other questions. So I thought I should wear for the first time in the last 18 months our national dress. So that, I mean, through your channel, through you, we would like to, present to you the national dress of Pakistan also as well. So
I'm glad you are wearing it today for the interview.
Thank you very much.
How many dresses?
I have only 3 with me.
Okay.
One is in white color, one is this black, and one is in gray.
Great.
So white was not that ready, right? So it had to be, because in the white dress, you can easily point out that it's not that. It's very difficult to iron, by the way. Black is always safe. So I thought to play safe and wore this black shalwar and kameez. It's let's say, it's basically this. By the way, this dress also is a it's, in the Arab world, the dress is for long, we call choga or long abaya.
Yeah.
But in the Indian subcontinent, they used to wear just the 2 unstitched clothes, one to cover your lower half and one to cover your upper half. Yeah. So what the Muslim people during these 1800s and 1900s, these 2 centuries, they were trying to create a dress basically for their soldiers. So the soldiers can't wear something like this, the 2 unstitched clothes, which could create problem for them while during their fighting. So they decided to develop, because there's a lot of humidity. The weather is quite warm in our part of the region. So they wanted something which should not be like the pants, but should be something which can carry air inside. So they developed, those tailors at that time, they developed this sort of arrangement, in which, of course, it is loose, but it is covering your whole body, and it is easy to move. I mean, you can move each and every part of your organ, every part of your body in a very convenient and comfortable manner. So they developed this. That's how the history of the shalwar kameez.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But then, of course, later since it was kind of, let's say, everyone was wearing this in the subcontinent region, the South Asian region, but then it was specifically, since it was created, or let's say invented by the Muslim tailors, so it was considered to be a Muslim dress. So the Muslims were recognized by wearing this dress in the South Asian region, subcontinent. So after our independence, it was declared as our national dress. Yeah. So that's how it is.
We always see that those colorful dresses, especially for women, in Bollywood movies. Actually, my last question will be then. Indians have Bollywood, and you have something called Lollywood, because I've seen such thing. Is it real? What's that?
See, it all comes from Hollywood. So from Hollywood, if it comes to India, since the majority of the movies are produced in Bombay, it was called Bombay at that time. Now I think not recently, but 10, 12 years back, they changed the name from Bombay to Mumbai. But still, since most of the movies were produced in Bombay, so they called it as Bollywood, from Bollywood. Yeah. And since most of the movies in Pakistan are produced in the city of Lahore,
okay,
so
that's why
they changed that H and B to L, so Lollywood. So that's that's how the Lollywood came to.
But I haven't seen any movie.
Pakistani cinema is still growing. It is not as robust as, let's say, India, or even in the Turkish cinema. By the way, me and my family, we are one of, majority of the Pakistani people, we are one of the most ardent admirers of Turkish drama and movies also, by the way.
Of course. Which one is your favorite?
Which one is my favorite? It's a very good question. I only watch those dramas which are watched by my wife also. It's by compulsion or by choice. So whatever she's watching, I'm supposed to watch the same drama. So nowadays she's watching Filinta. Filinta.
Yes.
Before that, she completed all the seasons of Ertugrul.
Diriliş Ertuğrul,
Ertugrul.
of course.
Before that, she watched Hurrem Sultan,
Of course.
and I think she covered the major important dramas also.
Yes, she did.
So I won't say all, but let's say 50 to 60% of the episodes I have also watched. So, and I also, I mean, those are very good. I mean, very good dramas and serials. So, this industry is, we are good in, by the way, drama production, but we are not still that good in the movies production. But it is growing, and the last 2-3 years, a lot of good movies have come out of Lollywood. And by the way, they have replaced, those movies have replaced the Indian movies and English movies also in Pakistani cinema. Now, you will be happy to know there is a growing trend of shooting movies in Turkey also.
Oh, really?
Just recently, I mean, last month in one of the National Movie Awards, there is a movie, the name of that movie is Jawani Phir Nahi Aani Part 2. That movie was 80% shot in Istanbul and Antalya.
Wow,
Antalya also. So that movie got an award, by the way, also in Pakistan.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes, so even right now, there is a crew, there is a crew in Antalya shooting for some drama serial, for Pakistan drama serial. So yes, this Lollywood is growing, but hopefully, inshallah, after 3 or 4 years, we might be able to see launching of Pakistani movies in Turkish cinema also. Right now, we only launched 3 movies, as per my knowledge, last year and this year also, but only for few shows in Istanbul. So, but inshallah, hopefully, once our industry grows further and we produce more movies, more good movies, so maybe some movie may get the attention of the Turkish audience. May Allah bless us, I mean the Muslims, and those who are still not able to celebrate this Bayram. We also pray for them, we also wish for them, and I hope this Bayram would be, with the blessings of Allah, would be good for the people of Turkey, would be good for the people of Pakistan. And inshallah, we will come out of our troubles and challenges, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.